people, this is Jerry speaking. Welcome to the Crazy Bunch's web show, episode number 42. And today we're having 3 death topics along with some thing that I have to recap on Fridays with James 295 episode number 336. So let's talk about it now. So we got, shall we? So we got, his name is Johnny Crawford. Now, goes by the name of John Ernest Crawford, was an American actor, singer, and musician. He first performed before a national audience as a musketeer. At age 12, Crawford rose to the prominence playing Mark McCain in ABC Western series The Riverman, at which he nominated for an Emmy Award as Best Supporting Actor at age 13 for his work in the show. Crawford has a brief career as a working artist in the 50s and the 60s. He continued to act on television and film as an adult. Beginning in 1992, Crawford led the California-based Johnny Crawford Orchestra, the vintage dance orchestra that performs at special events. Okay? He was born in Los Angeles, California, the son of Betty, Margaret, and Lawrence Crawford Sr., okay? His maternal grandparents were Belated. His maternal grandmother was violinist Alfred Eugene Maryland. In 1959, Johnny and his older brother, Robert L. Crawford Jr., co-starred in NBC's Romney series, and their father, Robert Sr., were all nominated for Emmy Awards. The brother for acting, and their father for film editing. Wow, which I'm a film editor at that time, but yeah, that's cool enough. His career began when he began as a child actor. One of Walt Disney's company's original Musketeers in 1955. He has acted on stage, in films, and on television. Disney started out with 24 original Musketeers, but ended in the first season. The studio reduced the number to 12. Okay? And Crawford was released for his contract. His first import break as an actor followed with the title role as in the Rock's video Fear production of Little Boy Lost, and NBC's live NBC broadcast on March 15th, 1956. He also appeared in the popular Western series The Lone Ranger in 1956, in one of the few color episodes in that series. Okay? Following that performance, beyond that, their work steadily with many seasoned actors and directors. Okay? Freelancing for 1.5 years. Okay? He exhibited almost 60 television credits, including featured roles in 3 episodes of NBC's The Roy Long Show, an appearance as Manuel in I'm American. In the episode of syndicated crime drama, The Sheriff Cozy, how I pronounce it, he starred as Bobby Adams in the 1958 drama Courage of Black Beauty. Okay? He appeared as Tommy Peel in the 1958 episode The Dealer and Tales of Wells Fargo, a CBS television series by the spring of 1958. He also performed 14 of the man's roles in the live television teleplays for NBC Belated Fear. Okay, and appeared on CBS sitcom Mr. Adam and Eve in the West Wagon Train episode, the Sally Porter story, in which Martin Miller also appeared. Okay. And on one syndicated series, Crosswords, the Sheriff Costas and Worrybirds made 3 pilots of TV series. The third pilot, which was made as an episode of Dick's, Paul's, Zane's, Grey Fear, was picked up by ABC in the first season of Riverman. Began filming in July of '58. Okay. Crawford was nominated for the Emmy Award for Best Supporting Actor in age 13. He received a nomination for this role as Mark McCain, the son of Lucas McCain, played by Chuck Connors in the ABC series. The Riverman, okay, that makes sense. Which Crawford also played a young boy named Clay Holden, which befriended Connors in the 1965 episode of Belated, okay? Throughout the Riverman's 5 seasons, a remarkable on-screen chemistry existed between Connors and Crawford and the suspension of their father-son relationship, okay? They were so close friends with Connors died on November 10th, 1992, and Crawford gave an elegy of Connors' memorial service. That was nice, okay? During the late 50s and early 60s, Crawford had widely with American teenagers in the recording career on Death Flight Records that generated for the Billboard Top 40 hits, including the single Cindy's Birthday, which peaked in number 8 in 62, and other hits including Rumors in number 12 in 1962, Your Nose is Grow in number 14 in the same year, and Proud, number 29 in 1963. Late in 1961, Crawford appeared on as Victor's in the episode of Very Bright Boy and the ABC sitcom The Don Reed Show. His brother Robert also had been guest starred on the Don Reed Show once in 1964 and once in 1965. Okay, Crawford appeared on the NBC education drama Mr. Navok, playing Jojo Rizzo. Okay, Crawford played Jeff, Wilbur's neighbor in Mr. Ed, season 6, episode 2 in 1965, which is more interested in pop music and then is algebra. Ugh, really? I don't know about algebra that much, but pop music is not my thing either. Moving on. Among his films, Crawford played an American Indian in the unique adventure film Indian Pain in 1965. He played a character involved with a disturbed young girl, played by Kim Darby in The Restless Ones 1955. And played a character shot by John Wayne's character in El Dorado in 1966. He played a young deputy, Billy Norris, in the Big Valley episode, The Other Face of Justice in 1969. Was enlisted in the U.S. Army for 2 years. Crawford working on training films as a production coordinator, assistant director, script supervisor, and auditional actor. His rank was sergeant at the time of his horrible discharge in December 1967. In 1968, Crawford played Soldier 1 to Murr by the numbers, an episode in the popular TV series Hawaii Five-0. The illustration of Rockabilly was a USC student film. Crawford agreed to do us a favor to his close friend, producer, John Longenecker, how you pronounce it. I'm not going to say the N word, but anyway. He won in 1970 Academy Award for Best Live Action Short Subject, okay? The Naked Ape was primarily animated in 1973 feature film starring Crawford and Victoria Principal, produced by Hugh Hefner. In 1976, Crawford's co-star has been Shelby in the 10th episode of season 3 of Little House of Prairie called The Hunters. Crawford also appeared as Sheriff's Deputy Noah Frazee in the 85 episode of Mercy Road. Okay. Crawford played a key role in the early career of entertainer Victoria Jackson of Saturday Night Live fame. After the two appeared together in Summer Shop production Meet Me in St. Louis, he presented her with a one-day ticket to California and encouraged her to pursue a Hollywood career. This led Jackson to an early appearance on Tonight Show with Johnny Carson before she cast in regular Saturday Night Live. Her final role in the film was playing William S. Hart in the 2019 Western Bill Todman and the Outlaws. Began in 1992, Crawford led a California-based vintage dance orchestra which performed at special events. The former name of the band was JCO, also known as Johnny Crawford Orchestra. The JCO logo appeared on Crawford's drums when the band played in Las Vegas, Nevada. The band was sponsored by the Playboy Jazz Festival, and the orchestra has been the choice for 15 consecutive annual Art Directors Gold Award shows at the Beverly Hills, California. A remastered version of the orchestra's highly rated first album, Swim the Clouds Away, was released on August 21st, 2012 on CD Baby distributor label. Crawford reconnected with his high school sweetheart, Charlotte Ramsco, in 1990, and they were married in 1995. In 2019, MeTV reported that Crawford has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. His longtime friend, actor Paul Pearson, started a GoFundMe fundraiser to help cover Crawford's medical costs. He died at age 75 on last birthday. Now I'm going to move on to my next death topic, which is going to be Will Milcom. Now, which is going to be huge for heavy metal fans like me. William Milcom was an American musician and lead guitarist in the rock band Comrade the Burn. During K2B's 7-year absence, he also played guitar for the instrumental band Treasure Cat. He also played drums in the band Immeasurable Pour to join Comrade the Burn. He lived in West Virginia. He died April 29, 2021 as a result of the traumatic head injury from the accidental fall. At the time of his death, he was the last remaining founding member of the lineup in the band. Now I'll move on to the last death topic, which is Michael Collins. Now, he was an American astronaut, which I had to repeat in my Friday show. But anyway, who flew the Apollo 11 Command Model Columbia, the moon in 1969, which is crewmates Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin made his first crew landing in service. He was also a test pilot and major general in the U.S. Air Force Reserves. Collins graduated from the U.S. Military Academy with the class 52. He joined the U.S. Air Force and flew F-86 Sabri fighters at the Academy Mysteries Air Base, France. He was accepted to the U.S. Air Force experimental flight test pilot school at Edwards Air Force Base in 1960. Also graduating from the Aerospace Research Pilot School Class 3. Wow. So that was part of the NASA's first group of 14 astronauts in 1963. Collins flew to space twice. Wow. His first space flight was a Gemini 10 in 1966, which was the command pilot John Young performed initial weapons with two spacecraft undertook two extra vehicle activities, EVAs for short, also known as spacewalks. Also, in the 2019 Apollo 11 mission, he became one of the 24 people to fly the moon. Wow. Okay, which he observed 30 times. He was the fourth person and third American to perform a spacewalk. He the first person to have performed more than one spacewalk, and after Young, who flew the command module on Apollo 10. The second person to mark the moon alone. Okay? After retiring from NASA in 1970, Collins took a job in the Department of State as an assistant service security of state public affairs. And a year later, he became the director of the National Air and Space Museum and held a position until 1978, which he stepped down to become an undersecretary of the Smithsonian Institution. How you pronounce it, but anyway. Smithsonian Institution, how you pronounce it, but anyway. In 1980, he took a job as vice president of LTB Aerospace. He resigned in 1985 to start his own consulting firm. Along with his Apollo 11 cruise mates, Collins was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1969 and the Congressional Gold Medal in 2011. Now, I'm going to have to move on to the childhood days. He was born in Halloween 1930 in Rome, Italy. He was the second son of James Collins, 1882 to 1963, a career U.S. Army officer who was a U.S. military chief for there from 1928 to 1932, and Virginia to be the Stewart in 1895 to 1987. Collins had an older brother, James Collins Jr., from 1917 to 2002, and two older sisters, Virginia and Angus. The first 17 years of his life, Collins lived in many places, and the Army posted his father to different locations: Rome, Oklahoma, Governor's Island, New York, Fort Always near Baltimore, Maryland, Fort Hayes near Columbus, Ohio, Puerto Rico, San Antonio, Texas. If you watch this, Hammett, Charlie, and Lynn's Kitchen, and Alexandria, Virginia. He took his first plane ride in Puerto Rico aboard a Guardian wagon. The pilot allowed him to fly for a portion of his flight. Okay, he wanted to fly again, but since World War II started soon after, he was unable. He studied for 2 years in Initiativa del Professional Sorio in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Okay, makes perfect sense, but okay. After the United States entered World War II, the family moved to Washington, D.C. Good enough. Where Collins attended St. Amandine School and graduated in 1948. His mother wanted him to enter the diplomatic service, but he decided to follow his father, two uncles, brothers, and cousins into the armed services. He received an appointment to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, from which his father and his brother, and he's graduated in 1907 and 1939 respectively. He graduated on June 3rd, 1952 with a Bachelor of Science degree in Military Science, finishing in 158th of the 127 cadets in the class, okay, which included the future fellow astronaut Ed White. Excuse me. Collins' decision to join the U.S. Air Force, USAF for short, was motivated by both wonder of what the next 50 years might bring in astronautics, okay, to avoid nations had to join the Army, okay, where his brother was already a consul, okay. His father has reached the rank of Major General, and his uncle, General J. Lawton Collins, 1896 to 1987, was the Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army. And the Air Force Academy is still under construction, will not graduate in this first class for several years. Wow. And the term graduates of the military academy was eligible for Air Force commissions. Positions were slower in the Air Force and then the Army due to large numbers of the young officers who have been commissioned have been also implemented during World War II. Okay, military service, fighter pilot. Okay, Coles began basic flight training in the T-6 Texan at the Columbia Air Force Base. Okay, Columbia, Mississippi. In August of '52, they moved on to San Marcos Air Force Base in Texas. Okay, to learn instrument and information flying. And finally to James Connery Air Force Base in Waco, Texas. Okay. Sorry, I keep bumming myself. But anyway, for training in jet aircraft. Flight came easily into him. Wow. And unlike many of his colleagues, he had no fear of failure. And I agree with that. He was awarded his wings upon completion of the course to at Waco in September of 1953. He was chosen an advanced day flyer trained near Air Force Base, Nevada, flying F-86 Sabres. The training was dangerous. Wow, 11 people were killed in accidents during the 22 weeks he was there. This was followed by assignment in January 1954 to the 21st Flyer Bomber Wing. Okay, at George Air Force Base, California. We will learn the ground attack and nuclear weapons delivery techniques in the F-86. He moved to the 21st Crabtree Business Air Base, France, in December 1954. He won first prize in the 1956 January completion. Okay, during the NATO exercise that year, he was forced to eject from the F-86 near Combat Saboteurs 8B. Okay, after the fire started after the cockpit. Okay, makes sense. But anyway, Columbus met his future wife, Patrick Mary Finnegan, from Boston, Massachusetts, in the officers' mess. Okay, the graduate of Ashmore College. When she majored in English, she was a social worker. I don't know why, but anyway. Dealing mainly with single mothers, she was more she was working with Air Force Service Club. After getting engaged, they have overcome the difference in religion. College was normally excellent accommodation, while Finnegan came in a socially romantic family. After seeking permission to marry the Finnegan's father, and delayed their wedding when Collins was planning to West Germany during the 1956 Hungarian Revolution, they married in 1957. They have a daughter, actress Kate Collins, in 1959, and second daughter Anne in 1961, and a son named Michael in 1963. After Collins returned to the United States in late 1957, he attended the aircraft maintenance officer course in Conde Air Force Base, Illinois. Okay. Makes sense now. He later described this school as dismissal in his autobiography. Okay. He found the class were boring. Oh my god. Find it time scarce, and the equipment outdated. Okay. Upon completing the course, he commanded the multiple train detachment, MDTD for short, and traveled to air bases around the world. The detachment trains, I don't know why I keep squeaking like that, but anyway, Matin's on the surfacing of new aircraft and pilots have to fly them. He later became the first commander of the Field Training Detachment, FTD 523 for short, back in the now as AFB, which is a similar kind of unit. Except that others use students to travel to him. Okay. Okay. Next is test pilot. Okay. Collins MTD posting about him to accommodate over 1,500 flying hours. The minimum. Sorry, I have to keep doing that in my ears. But anyway, moving on. The minimum required formation for the USAF Terminal Flight Test Pilot School at Edwards Air Force Base, California. Its application was successful, and on August 29, 1960, he became a member of Class 60C. Okay, which includes Frank Norman, Jim Iron, and Tom Schafford. Okay, who later become astronauts. Military test pilots became instruction started with North American T-28 Triton, and proceeded for the high performance F-86 Sabre, B-57 Cabrera, T-33 Shooting Star, and the F-104 Starfire. Coles was a heavy smoker, but quit in 1952 after suffering a partial bad hangover. And I agree with that. Good job. The next day, he spent what we described as the worst 4 hours of his life as a test pilot seat of a B-52 Star of Trash, how you pronounce it, while going through the initial stages of nighttime withdrawal. Okay, the inspiration of Collins is in addition to the becoming a NASA astronaut was the Mercury Atlas 6th flight of John Glee. Okay, on February 20th, 1962, and the flight of being able to circle the Earth in 9 minutes. Okay, Collins applied for the second group of astronauts that year to raise the number of Air Force pilots selected. The Air Force sent their base appliance to a charm school, medical and scientific, I pronounce it, examinations at Brooks Air Force Base, Texas. He interviews in the Manned Spacecraft Center, MSC for short, in Houston followed. In mid-September, he found out he was not being accepted. It was Bo even though he did not accept to be selected. Okay, makes sense. Collins selected the second group of 9 as better than the Mercury 7, who protected them, seated them, how you pronounce it. Or 5 groups that followed, equaling his own. That year, USAF Experiment Flight Test Pilot School became the USAF All-Space Research Pilot School, ARSPS for short. As the Air Force tried to enter the space research through the X-15, X-20 programs, Collins applied for new postgraduate course offered the basics of spaceflight. Okay, he was accepted for class on October 22nd, 1952, and other students in this 11-member class included 3 future astronauts: Charles Bassett, Edward Givens, and Joe Engel. Along with classwork, they also flew up in 90,000 feet, 27,000 meters, and F-104 Starfires, and they passed through the top of the arc. Okay, they were experiencing a brief period of weightlessness. on finishing the course, he returned to fire operators in May 1963. And the start of June, NASA once again called for the astronaut applications. Call was moved the same progress as his first application, but he did not take the Frederick invitation. He was at Randolph Air Force Base, Texas, on October 14th, where Dan Slayton, the chief of astronaut office in NASA, called as it was still interested in being an astronaut. Bassett was also accepted. Okay. By the time Collins has flown over 3,000 hours, and which 2,700 were in the jet aircraft space program. Okay. I'm gonna scroll up some more. But anyway, compare the first two groups of astronauts. The third group of 14 astronauts, which included Steve Collins, he was younger. Okay, makes sense to me. But anyway, for average age of 31, the first two groups had an average age of 34.5 and 32.5 in the time of the selection. It was better educated with an average of 5.6 years of territory education. Okay, but they have fewer flight hours, 2,300 average compared to 3,500 and 2,800 for the first two groups. The only 8 of the 14 were test pilots. On the 30 astronauts selected in the first three groups, only Collins and his third group colleague, William Anders, were born outside U.S. Wow. And Collins was only one, the older brother. All the rest were elderly and only sons in the families. Training began in the 240-hour course in the basics of space flights. 58 hours of which that was devoted geography. Some Collins did not really understand, which he never became interested. At the end, Alan Shepard, the chief of astronaut office, asked the 14 to rank the following astronauts in order that they would want to fly them into space. Okay? Collins picked David Scott as the number 1 position. Okay? Next one, Project Gemini. I'm not going to read the crew assignments, but I'm moving on to Gemini 10. Okay? Because it's very long to read, but anyway, 15 significant experimental initials was carried on Gemini 10, more than any other Gemini mission except the 2-week-long Gemini 7. Excuse me. After Gemini 9's Eva's ran into problems, the remaining Gemini missions had to be completed on the last 3 flights. Okay. While the other overall number on the opposites increased, the difficulty in Collins Eva was scaled considerably back. Okay. Gotta take a deep breath here. There was no backpack on astronaut management unit, AMU for short. There would have been on Gemini 8. There were their 3-day mission called with 2 target vehicles undertake 2 Evas, okay, and perform 15 different experiments, okay. The training went smoothly, and the crew learned the error cases of initials detonations, okay. Controlling the Agna and for Collins, the Eva what would be the fourth ever, okay? Underwater trade has not performed, mostly because Kohler did not have the time. And I agree with that. But anyway, to try and use the nitrogen gun, he would use the position of a smooth metal surface about the size of the boxing ring was set up. Okay. He would stand on the sugar pad that would use the gas jets to raise itself off the surface. Okay. Using not great enough gun, he would practice preparation himself across a slippery table. Gemini 10 left off in the launch complex 19, and Cape Canaveral at 5:20 local time on July 18th, 1966. Upon reaching orbit, okay, it was about 860 natural miles, 1,600 kilometers, okay? Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I can't read the rest, but moving on to the next thing. But anyway, I'm not gonna read the entire Apollo thing either, so that's just, I'll save that for another time, but no, I suppose not NASA activities, but that's just me. But anyway, moving on. He died, April 28th, 2021, cancer in Naples, Florida. He was 9 years old. Now, I'm not gonna have much time for taping TheCrazyBunch's WebShow for the rest of the day, so let's have a moment of silence for Johnny Carford, William Mattom, and Michael Collins right now. Thank you. Recipes to you free. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my last topic, and I just like it. This topic is too long, but you know that's just me. I'm not gonna show you the pictures like I did in my Friday show, but this is gonna be huge, okay? But anyway, happy wedding day to my sister-in-law Sarah and her husband Gabe. If you watch this now, this is for you, and this is a big one for Sarah and Gabe. So anyway, that's Sarah and the bridesmaid. That's just me, and they married her. She married Gabe on April 28th, 2021. So this is huge for me, and yeah. The three pictures seen here were Aurelia, my nephew's Jackson Asher, and Sarah the bridesmaid. And that's Gabe and Sarah and the couple. So that's seen in the night before Christmas scene here. But anyway, 2021 adventure. I'm not gonna show you the whole rest, but that's just me. But anyway, we're out of time. But you know, that's just me. But anyways, guys, that was the TheCrazyBunch's web show, episode number 42. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one. Hope things will be a lot better than it was last time. I'm not going to sure we're going to be a celebration of Mother's Day episode of TheCrazyBunch's web show. Till next time, so Jerry's goodbye. Peace out, baby. Get more episodes, guys, very soon. Till then, jump out. See ya.